Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bachelor Buzz News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Following their engagement in the season finale, Golden Bachelorette couple Joan and Chock are now announcing their intention to move to New York City together. Chock, a 60-year-old insurance executive from Wichita, Kansas, and Joan, a 61-year-old private school administrator from Rockville, Maryland, had a close bond during season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette. When Chock handed Joan a red house keychain on their last date, he expressed his desire to move to New York City with her. Joan gladly accepted Chock's proposal after bidding farewell to runner-up Guy Gansert. In their declaration, Joan and Chock stated that they intended to move to New York City. In an interview with Us Weekly, Joan and Chock stated that they intend to move to New York City as planned. They will actually start looking for apartments there by the end of the week of the Golden Bachelorette finale. Joan clarified, "Obviously, we have to sort of figure out life throughout this first year. Chock owns a company in Kansas. I live in Maryland and have children and grandchildren. He has responsibilities in Kansas, but I won't be leaving Maryland." Joan also mentioned that although she and Chock are moving to the Big Apple, they plan to visit both of their home states. "We have this really fun plan because we both have always dreamed, and we're finally at this weird stage in life for making this dream come true, that we live in a big city, and, specifically, that we've always wanted to live in New York," she revealed. "We know that we're going to spend time in Maryland and Kansas," she said. "So I was taken aback when Chock stated, 'I want us to go find a place.'" Joan also gave an explanation for her and Chock's decision to move to New York City. "We both enjoy the city's vibrancy and the fact that there's always something to do," she remarked. "We simply want to go out and explore the world, visit interesting eateries, and experience the culture. There, we both have buddies. The finest time to visit New York City is over the holidays, which is when we will be there. It's simply a very different life than either of us has ever experienced, in my opinion. An added perk is that Chock's kids reside on the East Coast. That makes the decision maybe a little bit easier," Joan clarified. "Additionally, I'm eager to travel to Kansas and spend time there, something I never would have imagined saying. There, he has a wonderful life with wonderful people, and I can't wait to visit and spend time with them. He goes out almost every night of the week, and I can hear his pals having a fantastic time in the background. I am therefore eager to see Kansas." He would never ask Joan to relocate too far from her family, Chock continued. "Maryland is home to her 3 grandchildren and 4 adult children. We're going to navigate it," Chock stated. "We're open to visiting each person's hometown. We will be in New York City for a long time. We will move on with our lives. Naturally, we have to sort of figure out life during this first year. Chock owns a company in Kansas. I live in Maryland and have children and grandchildren. He has responsibilities in Kansas, but I won't be leaving Maryland. We are aware that we will spend time in Kansas and Maryland, but we also have this exciting plan because we have always wanted to live in a big city, specifically New York, and we are finally at this strange point in our lives where we can fulfill this dream." I was taken aback when Chock stated, "I want us to go find a place. We both enjoy the city's vibrancy and the fact that there is always something to do. We simply want to go out and explore the world, visit interesting eateries, and experience the culture. There, we both have buddies. The finest time to visit New York City is over the holidays, which is when we will be there. It's just, in my opinion, a very different life than either of us has ever experienced. That may make the choice a little bit simpler. Additionally, I'm eager to visit and spend time in Kansas, too, something I never would have imagined saying. There, he has a wonderful life with wonderful people, and I can't wait to visit and spend time with them. He goes out almost every night of the week, and I can hear his pals having a fantastic time in the background. I'm eager to visit Kansas as a result. Joan made it clear at the start of her Golden Bachelorette journey that she would never leave Maryland due to her family. Her willingness to relocate to New York City and live there with Chock for a portion of her life is unexpected. But it appears that they will divide their time between Kansas, Maryland, and New York City. Joan's mother and mother-in-law reside in Maryland, along with her children and grandkids. John, Joan's spouse of 32 years, died of pancreatic cancer in 2021. After their golden wedding, Jerry Turner and Teresa Nist of The Golden Bachelor were unable to agree on where to live because neither of them wanted to leave their family. As a result, they got divorced. Given that living situations can be one of the largest barriers to an engagement and marriage at an older age, it's wonderful to hear that Joan and Chock had discussed their living arrangements before beginning their relationship. From New York City to Maryland, it takes roughly 3.5 hours by automobile, 2.5 hours by rail, and 45 minutes by plane. When Joan and Chock started their enchanted relationship in Disneyland on their first one-on-one date of the season, it appeared like they were destined to be. Since then, they have experienced many things together, such as meeting each other's families, becoming engaged, and the loss of Chock's mother. Regardless of where they choose to reside, it is hoped that Joan and Chock's bond would endure forever. Despite their warning signs, Joan's final three were Guy Gansert, Chock Chappell, and Pascal Ibgui, the top 3 contestants on the Golden Bachelorette. Only one of the eligible bachelors can win the love of the leading lady, Joan Vassos, who has ties to all of them. Only 2 are left after Pascal eliminated himself during the overnight dates in Tahiti because he felt that he and Joan did not click. Spectators anxiously await the season finale to find out if Joan will pick Guy or Chock. Despite their nasty behavior, she seemed to have bonded with the trio throughout their time on season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette. As Joan must make the crucial choice, viewers who are cheering for her romantic success have begun to doubt the casting procedure. Some might wonder why Pascal, Chock, and Guy were invited to compete since they had to go through a drawn-out and personal screening process. Pascal chose to leave the show freely, but that didn't stop him from making money off of his participation. Pascal talked to Glamour magazine about his thoughts on the experience of rejecting Joan, which left her questioning her quest for love. He ruined fellow contender Chock's reputation by using the site. Chock's reputation was damaged by this surprisingly sour remark. Through his charm and sense of humor, the salon owner, who is unable of doing simple things like washing, was able to establish relationships with his fellow senior bachelors. He seemed to get along well with most of his rivals, but he harbored bitterness for leader Chock. He thought Joan's time was being too controlled by the Kansas native. Chock was all over her to the point where he was, like a stalker, Pascal told the media source. Chock's reputation was damaged by this surprisingly sour remark. Even though Pascal's remarks were needless and unjustified, they do shed some light on Chock's actions on the Golden Bachelorette. Pascal wasn't the only rival to have grievances over the proprietor. During their group bowling date, many of the men thought Chock was watching Joan. Chock often suggested that he and Joan should go together. The other guys felt confined after he drew Joan away from the rivals. When he inquired, "Which side of the bed do you sleep on?" he went too far. The other contenders felt uneasy about this personal query, with some questioning whether his intentions were sincere. Interestingly, while being annoyed by his actions, the other men forgot their grudges and concentrated on their top goal, courting Joan. Guy appeared to be fairly wholesome for the most part of the show. His marriage to and subsequent divorce from his ex-wife, Heidi Severs O'Gara, had been open and honest. Guy decided not to reveal the restraining order she had asked for, instead focusing on the divorce and the pain of losing a spouse. The Sun claims that Guy's unpredictable actions during a trying period in his life served as the impetus for the judicial proceedings. Heidi thought that some of his hostile actions, such as damaging her car and sending stacks of text messages, were brought on by his sleeping medicine. Guy motioned with 2 fingers as though pointing a gun at her when she was questioned about putting something under her driver's side tire. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.